So once you know and you go under training and coaching, how long does it take before you can actually, have a fully integrated body movement and people sort of get that communication from you effectively?
It depends on how much you already know and how much you want to learn, and if you can be developed. Like Numam, for example, she's a TV host, been around 35 years, but she's so used to talking to a camera, so she never moves her legs, she only moves her upper body. And then when she came to class, it was a 10-day, so when she did that, she understood it better, that to communicate well and she herself feels less stress is when it's all coordinated.
What do you actually have to focus on? Because we're talking about body movements, gestures, and even the voice. I mean, to just jump at it, what would be the leading thing that we have to get right into?
Well, first I'll have to analyze them. I have to analyze
so it depends?
their videos. Yeah. First, what I do for every student is I analyze them by watching their videos even before they come to class, do a bit of homework. Because by watching their videos, I can already tell what their signature movement is, which way do they normally go when they speak, and how much hand gesture do they use, do they understand how to use them, you know what I mean? And then when they come to class, then I'll break it down and I'll have them watch a few videos to show them, a few people who are different from them, and have them tell me how they feel watching them. And then that's when people start comparing. This is me and this is them, this is what other people do. How come I never thought of that? How come I've never moved that way? And then you go into, okay, now in movement pattern, or to communicate well, these are the things you need to do. Let's say when people don't realize this, it's really funny. There's a word called weight shift.
Weight shift?
Yeah, weight shift. Let me.
When you move your body to
when you're standing and you
side?
want to put your weight on the other side, and we all do it. But when I say that in class and I say, can you practice your weight shift? Nobody understands what it means. But we do it all the time. Even when you watch TV, you can see somebody could be talking and they could be moving back like that. That's a back weight shift. And sometimes they go forward, like put their left foot forward just a little bit, and they put their weight on that leg. That's a weight shift. But when I say, okay, let's practice, let's start with weight shift. What's weight shift?
Something new to them.
Yeah, something new to them. So we start with the basics. We start with weight shifting. We start with, going, moving in circles. Yeah, going to that side, then you focus on that side first, going to this side, and you focus on this side first. And then in the end, after maybe 3-4 days, then they combine everything.
And then how does it come out naturally? Because it has to be natural.
Yeah, it normally does, because, some people don't move naturally because some of them, their shoulders hurt, their neck's always stiff.
Yeah.
It's the way their body structure is. And some people, I tell you, we use our bodies less than 70%. When's the last time you did that?
Me? This morning.
Okay.
In a yoga class.
How about this side?
We have to do both sides.
Ah, okay.
Luckily.
But for some people,
No, they don't.
2 months ago. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to use your body, but it depends on whether you understand that you're doing it, you're well coordinated, or you're just doing what you're used to. Let's say, there was a lady who came to my class last month, and she's quite big. And when she walks, her shoulders go up like that. And she said every time she goes up to her husband to ask, can we have a chat about this? He goes, no. And then I said, why don't you go home and ask him why? And he said, because I feel you're harassing me.
Oh, it's just because of her posture.
Yeah, it's the way she approaches him. He said, you're always harassing me. I don't want to get into a fight with you.
That's why. So
she has to soften up, let her shoulders down. She has to walk differently. But first you have to change her mindset. I said, why do you go in or go up to him like that? She said, because she was pissed off. Yeah, so, you go in with that state of mind, that's what you get.
So the actions speak louder than words.
Exactly,
Like we
exactly.
mentioned it earlier.
Yep, exactly.
So, I mean, if you go under training, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
It depends on your will and determination.
Yep, and
but it will happen.
It will happen, and you got to practice.
Now, generally, from the clients that came to train with you, let's say, how long does it take?
8 days.
8 days?
Yeah.
That's not too long.
But they have to do a lot of homework. They got to go back, like what they learned today, they have to go back, they have to practice, and they have to send me their videos. It's 8 days, but then after that, it really is up to them if they're going to, you know, like use it and practice, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's really up to them. I can only give them everything I know in class, and then the rest is really up to them.
Let's say for some of your celebrity clients, TV hosts who came to train with you, I mean, what kind of effect or impact that they saw after, you know, learning MPA?
Well, for Kun Numam, for sure, one thing for sure is she feels a lot easier when she's communicating. Her body's more relaxed, and she doesn't feel that she's, you know, she's stressed all the time. Because when you're communicating well, I mean, and every part is coordinated, that's how you're supposed to feel. You're not supposed to be stressed, you know what I mean? And the other part is for the audience. Sometimes when some people communicate, they don't look authentic. It's all to do with their body movement.
Although they are being true, but it doesn't look that way.
I've done a class, I've done 2 classes for this bank, and in one of the classes I did, I had 2 students who came to help me. And I said, okay, why don't you tell him, this lady, why don't you tell him what you did last weekend? And then you go out, he tells your story as if it's his, and you go and tell the audience your story, and let's see who they believe. And they all chose him over her. And I allow them to ask questions too. So the audience asked questions, he answered all the questions, then they asked her, she answered all the questions. Nobody believed her.
Why?
Credibility. Okay. Nervousness, credibility, lack of knowledge. She didn't pay attention to a lot of things. Some people have ways in communicating that is just not firm. It looks so lightweight, you know, she's going on and on and on.
Could it be because they're not used to speaking in front of the public?
That could be it too.
So if that's a factor which could, you know, be a great obstacle, what do you do?
Well, they have to learn about movement. Let's say, for example, I said to this lady that this is really scary. Let's say because she drops her kids off and she picks them up every day. I said, what if one day you drive to your son's school and you get stopped by a police and he said he found something in your car? How are you going to get out of that situation with no credibility and very little communication skill? When I say little communication skill, I mean convincing skill. You know, she doesn't look convincing, she doesn't look authentic. So it is very important.
Then again, are there actually any case that's impossible to cure when it comes to body movements? Have you come across anything
I
interesting?
have come across one lady who, she's so all over the place. Basically, she doesn't know how to focus. She likes to multitask. She does a lot of things at the same time, and she jumps, you know, from here to there and all that all the time. And we keep telling her to focus, because if you don't focus, you come out and you do even a short presentation of 2 minutes. You know, you can see from her movement, she's going like that, like that, like that, because in her mind there's no peace, and in her mind she's so overwhelmed with what is she going to do next, and she can never keep one story straight. She would add this in, add that in, add this in, add that in. You can only tell them what you see and tell them how they can fix it. The rest is up to them.
I see. So for classes like this, I mean, what kind of jobs should pay serious attention to this technique? We know that people in the television industry should. What about the other occupations?
Well, lawyers.
Lawyers?
Yeah, you know, they've got to represent their clients. CEOs. Anyone who has to do with the media. We get a lot of trainers, image consultants, speakers, because they all need it. Because it's something we've never been taught. It's not taught in Thai schools anywhere. Is
it actually difficult, you know, to learn, to change?
Well, you see, I got my PhD when I was 48, so I shouldn't be. You shouldn't be asking me.
To you. And taking ballet as well.
Yes, at 50. So nothing is impossible for me. Yes, I would think for a lot of people it's very difficult.
All right, well, those were some really interesting perspectives on body stories and body language. If you write the right story since the beginning by learning these techniques, I believe that a lot of opportunities await you. So it was a pleasure to have you here on the program today. Thank you very much.
It's very nice to see you.